Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Ready to Love Season 7, Episode 3. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. When the episode first opens up, all of the ladies are entering the ladies' lounge / church. Y'all just, maybe y'all up in this church and whatnot, honey. Oh, it's a fool. So they come on in and Tommy asks how they're doing. You know how they do the little small talk and whatnot. So Tommy tells the ladies that they're taking the men out on dates. It's their week in power. So they have the power to eliminate one man. And he wants them to tell the men on their dates something about them that they wouldn't know, like right up front. He wants them to be vulnerable. Child, that was the word of the episode. Do y'all hear me? In the next scene, Mercedes goes on a double date with Mark Anthony, SuAnne, and Blake. So they're doing a physical activity on their date. It's called Kangaroo Jack or jumping for the kangaroos. Child, I don't know what they was doing, honey. They was just bouncing and whatnot. So Mercedes said, she has a really giddy feeling when she sees Mark Anthony, but Blake is a little off-putting. Child, and is. The guys were definitely not feeling those bouncing boots. They weren't feeling them boots, child. I mean, for me, it seems like a good workout because I was thinking, I wonder if they had it in Houston, honey. I could do a little bouncing. It'll get your glutes and your legs right. I like that. I mean, it seems like a good workout, but to get you ready for Miami, but not for a date. I was like, no, this is not a date, honey. And how y'all gonna tell them some of y'all bouncing around and whatnot? Side note though, Mark Anthony and Mercedes look so cute together. I'm gonna start calling them Eminem. Okay, Eminem look very cute together. So after they get done bouncing and whatnot, they go ahead and sit down. Mark Anthony and Mercedes, they're having a little bit of banter, and so are Sue and Blake. So SuAnne said that Blake is one of her closer connections. Well, child, I mean, he did give her a compliment, so I guess there's that. So they started talking about her having his back in certain situations, and he was like, I'm going to give you a little bit of a nickname. I'm going to call you Susu, and when I call your nickname, I want you to save me. Child, let's move on. Over there on the other side, Eminem, they're talking, and he asked her about her last relationship. She said her ex cheated and had a baby. You know what? This is becoming all too common. They ain't just cheating no more. Baby, they cheating and dropping off a seed and then coming on back home. Child, this is a fool. I am glad she got out. I am so proud of you, Mercedes. I'm speaking directly to you, honey. He's like, you know what? You're cute. Because he's like looking at her. And baby, when I tell you he was gazing all up in them eyes. So now they flirting a little bit. And I feel like they both look so cute and young together. It's giving high school love. It's giving in the cafeteria. Oh, girl, are Mercedes and Mark Anthony together? Girl, I think they go together now. That's what it was giving me, honey. It's cute. Oh, child. I don't know if it's going to be a thing, but I think they look nice together. Back over on the other side of the room, Blake and SuAnne, they're still talking. And Blake said, his journey is just different because he's been there before. He's been married. He's had kids. So he's not looking for that. Okay. He's not looking for the fairy tale. She's like, oh, okay. So you're looking for somebody to help you with your squats. So then he was like, there's somebody I can give a nickname to. When I tell y'all, I went to go get me a refreshing beverage. Always Coca-Cola, honey, because I didn't know what was going on. I was like, child, what's happening? So she, in her confessional, said that she likes that he gave her a nickname, and that's his way of showing action. SuAnne, no, it is not. Okay? No, it's not. He's uncomfortable in social settings. He really don't have much to say. So he's just saying any old thing, child. Anywho, so she was like, well, I love that you gave me a nickname. He said, yeah, to use in case of emergencies. Oh my goodness. SuAnne, listen, girl. Listen, girl. I'm not trying to be funny, honey, but this man said that he was going to use your nickname in case of emergency. So I'm telling you right now, that nickname is not a term of endearment. Okay. He don't give a damn. Oh, child, I could have told you that nickname didn't mean nothing, child. Blake just don't want to go home. I just feel like he just doesn't have a personality. Like he got the personality of a box of rocks. It's not working. And not him saying he gonna use your name just in case of an emergency. Like when you gotta break that glass, you know how they have that glass and it's got like a fire extinguisher or a hammer in it. It's like break in case of an emergency. That's what he's reduced you to, SuAnne. Oh, child. And you're so pretty and you seem so sweet. Child, next caller, please. Cause Blake ain't your child. He's not feeling you like that. Moving forward. In the next scene, Cynthia and Andre, they're going on a date. And y'all know what I noticed? Because I was trying to figure out what is the zhuzh that Cynthia has. When she comes on in a scene, she commands the audience's attention. It's just something about her that stands out. So what I was looking at is that she has that early 90s, 2000s type of beauty. You know, when we didn't wear much, honey, we just had that little brown line and a little lip gloss. Honey, you pop your lips real good and you're good. She has a very natural face. It's not a lot of heavy makeup. Like you can see her face. I think that's what it is. It's not overly done. She doesn't have on the baby bop lashes. She ain't got the baby hairs down to the eyebrows. It's just natural looking hair. You know, not too many bundles. A few little clip-ins. Natural makeup. And a body for the gods. Do y'all hear me? I think that's what's making her stand out. So anywho, that's just a side note. So she's here with Andre. Now, I don't know what she's seeing in Andre, honey. I really don't. And she even said in her confessional, she's like, I see something in Andre, but I want to know what that is. Me too. Child, me too. So they're painting. And so she asks what he's looking for in a woman. And he said he wants a woman that's soft. You know, he's looking for a companion. So she looks to him and she asks him, well, what if a woman isn't so soft because of what she's gone through? Like, you know, a man has put her through so much. Would you be willing to teach? And I loved that question because I can see that in myself a little bit. Like, you know, you've gone through so much, so you have kind of a hard exterior, but you still want to be soft at the end of the day. So I really appreciated that question. And he said, absolutely. So he asked her if she's, you know, if she's tough because he can see that she's a strong woman. She said that she's been through a lot. Okay. And she's been through so much that she's built up a wall. And she's definitely able to weed out the crap. But she also wants a man that's able to knock down those walls and get to the softer side because she does have one. So he asked how receptive she was in a relationship. She said she's very receptive and she's also learned that things have gone left in her relationships because she wasn't so open. And so she said to herself, listen, girl, you only robbing yourself of an opportunity to be with someone because you're not open. So now she's very open. So she starts to get really emotional, right? This is where Andre won me over. Him and that tendril. So Andre and his tendril, they get up and get a tissue. Okay, Andre, you won major points with me. I see it now. I can see why she likes you because it wasn't just about the tissue. It was about his attentiveness. If you didn't watch this episode, go back and just watch that scene and tell me if you agree. He was very attentive. That could have gone a totally different way. And I feel like I kind of misjudged him by his hair and whatnot because that hair was giving the fool, but but I really feel like Andre might be all right. He said her being vulnerable made him even more attracted to her. Okay, I want to say this. Was they passing out them satin shirts down there in Miami? Because, honey, DeMario had on one. Andre got on one. You get a satin shirt and you get a satin shirt. Child, it's the year of the satin shirts. Anywho, I wanted to also say this. Cynthia is an awesome communicator. She really is. And he was very attentive while she was speaking. I don't know if I see them together, but he did earn my respect because of his willingness to listen to her so she felt heard and so she felt seen. Because, you know, he could have easily made a joke or started talking about something else, but he was really involved in what she had to say. So that's all to the good for me, honey. Over on the other side, Corvair and Fabrice, they're going for a bike ride. I'm sure she know good and well she don't want to hang out with no Fabrice. She's just going to be over there with him because she know he going to be happy to be in her presence. So he probably a spoiler child. Let's see what's going to go on. So after they ride these bikes, they sit down to talk, right? And she's like, so tell me about your business. So he tells her that he had his first brand when he was 27 and sold it in 2014. She's like, this is a trick. I know you lying to me. These people acting that soft. Do you hear me? He said, what do you mean? She said, I told them I wanted a man who has had and sold a business. Girl, that is so specific. Do you hear me? She said, listen, I told them I wanted that, but it's not about the monetary thing. He said, it's okay. It is about that, and that's okay. I said, what now? He's like, look, I see it. Don't worry about what you tell me. I can take what you tell me. If I looked like you, I'd have that kind of attitude too. He was basically saying she was looking for a sugar daddy. Okay. And he ain't fooling me. He's like, girl, you talking all this fluff, honey, trying to blow smoke up my behind. Do you want me to take care of you or not? Okay. You look good. You want to be somebody's arm candy. You want me to spoil you, take care of you with my business money. Got it. That's what he was trying to say. But how are you going to make an assumption and not even let her finish her sentence? I feel like he was being a bit judgy. Okay. And he was like, so what do you do for fun? She's like, I like to inspire people on social media. Not inspire them, child. So then he's like, oh, you're so young. You're so funny. You know, I just don't feel like you're being real. I can't get a real read out of you. You're so distant. He's like, you know, I just don't understand it. So in the confessional, she was like, why is this man trying to act like he knows more about me than I know about myself? I'm offended. Child, I'm offended for you. Sir, you don't know her. He should be happy he was penciled in, to be honest. But y'all, I guess he need to be for real about that age of his. That's what he need to be for real about. I wish she would have asked him about himself. This is the thing. This is the read that people are getting on you, Corvair. I'm speaking directly to you, honey. It is okay to say, I want a financially stable man. I don't want him to have a roommate. I want him to have his own car. I don't want to have to give him gas money. I don't want to have to Cashapp him at dinner. That's fine. But everybody you encounter, you lead with, tell me about your business. Are you going to spoil me? Now, girl, I can't defend you, honey. Because at first I was like, I understand, which I still do understand about that roommate. And I ain't changing it. I said what I said and I ain't changing it. But when you sit down with every single man and the first thing you say is, tell me about your business. Oh, so do you spoil your women? Like, it just doesn't come off right. It's just not. It's just not a good look. It's really not. I feel like you should talk to them about them instead of their businesses and their finances. Moving forward. In the next scene, we have Marcia and Morgan. They meet up with Tony and Lyndon. They're having a little beach picnic. And I was wondering, who is there for Lyndon? Because both of the ladies are feeling Tony. So they're all sitting down, they're talking, and Marcia gets right to it. She was like, listen, Tommy told us to take y'all out on dates, and he gave us a task to tell you something that we probably would never have said this early. I'm glad y'all are following directions because Sue, Mercedes, and Corvair did not. Well, Corvair didn't really have a chance, child, because Fabrice was reading her like hooked on phonics, child. So she didn't really have a chance, but Sue and Mercedes, they didn't follow the instructions. They ain't understand the assignment. So Morgan reveals one thing about her, and she tells them that she's never been in love. And I was just like, really? I don't know what it is, but I'm always shocked when I hear that. I guess it's because I've been in love more than once, and I do love. I mean, today's date, it's a no-go for me, honey, because I'm working on me. I need some me time, and I need to work on me. But when people say that, I'm just like, say what now? At 40, you ain't never been in love? So in the confessional, Tony said it's not a red flag for him, but she's an older woman. She's had some experiences, so he's going to need to question it more. Child, we're going to need to question you more as well, because something about you I just don't trust. I don't know what it is. I just don't trust it. So he asked her if she was ready to love or if she was ready to be in love. And she said, yeah, I mean, I've never experienced it, but I am willing and wanting to fall in love. So Lyndon said it was hard for him to put himself out there, especially on a show like this, being vulnerable because of his job. So Tony and Morgan, they go for a walk and leave Lyndon and Marcia. So he starts making excuses as to why he hasn't used her number. He's like, well, you know, the schedule's just so hectic. I haven't really used. See, this is the stuff Corvair was talking about with you, Lyndon. Okay. You act like a young college kid. If you wanted to talk, you would talk. And Marcia even said, she said, I'm not going to let you get off that easy because you make time for what you want. I know that's right. And I cannot stand when they come on the show and start talking about what they can't do and how they can't fit it in. They give you the schedule. They tell you what it's going to be. So you know that you need to be available. If you're on a show looking for love, the person that you're interested in, you're going to give them the time of day. So, honey, I ain't buying it. Over with Morgan and Tony, he's putting the moves on Morgan, talking all smooth and getting his Barry White on. I was like, boy. He's like, so the eye contact you giving me, that's for real. She was like, yeah, you always give me good eye contact. So in confessional, she said she likes an aggressive man, and he's letting it be known how he feels about her. Tony talks like he's running game. I ain't buying it. I'm not buying nothing about it. It's giving, I got to get in front of the enemy. Shout out to David. Back over here with Lyndon and Marcia. Lyndon is telling Marcia that she is attracted to a lot of people there. And Marcia said, I'm attracted to you. That's what's most important. And she said she wants him to just relax and don't miss the opportunity to show who Lyndon actually is. So he takes the opportunity to try and kiss her. Marcia hit him with the Matrix. Do you hear me? Oh, don't kiss me. She was like, well, what are you doing? This was my thing. How you gonna try to kiss her and you can't even call her? Where they do that at? Baby, the audacity of it all, the unmitigated gall. You can't call me because you don't have time, but you got time to kiss me. Oh, child, absolutely not. She was nice about it, though. She was really nice because, honey, I would have been completely turned off. Do you hear me? But, I would have let him down easy because, people, you just never know. So I would have been like, oh, no, I'm not ready for the kiss of it all. But thank you. Okay? Thank you so much. He said that he's been known to, jump the gun on the smooches. He's a smoocher. Well, child, Marcia didn't want no smooches. She didn't want no kisses. She didn't want no air kisses. She didn't want none of that, honey. You got to call on the phone first. Back over with Morgan and Tony, he's still over there talking slow and low, talking about he want to rub her feet and talk to her about God, and he wants to pray with her. He's like, all the man things. So Morgan was like, listen, I'm not looking for a perfect man, and I feel like he tries to present himself as perfect. I really do. I feel like he says what sounds good, but not necessarily what's real. That's how I feel about it. And she said she does want a man that has his own relationship with God, and that's a turn on for her, and she really appreciates that about Tony. I mean, she seems to like him, but I don't know. I just don't know. She says she calls him Smooth Tony from up top because he's very known with the ladies, and she wants to make sure he's not smooth with her and everybody else. Well, I think he's smooth with you and everybody else. I do think that he likes her, but he's not exactly as he's presenting. It's giving representative at this point. Moving forward. In the next scene, Demario and Jeffrey, they're going horseback riding. And in the confessional, he said he was excited, but he was a little bit taken aback by the horseback riding of it all in the MIA. Yeah, because you got to leave them satin shirts at the house. You can't take that satin shirt to the horseback riding of it all. And sir, are those rain boots? I said, child, not Demario done came out here in this flannel and these rain boots. Child, I'm not about to play with you. So when they get on the horse, they start riding, right? Jeffrey was struggling on that horse. Demario caught on pretty quick, so he getting his Fabio on, honey, riding the horse and whatnot. All he needed was some long hair blowing in the wind. Him, his horse, and his rain boots were doing just fine. Over on the other side of town, Lyndon and Jonique, they're going out to a wine bar. Lyndon just always looks so pieced together and unkempt to me. I don't know what it is. Like, he arrives like he just got through coming from the local Walmart. I just don't know. So he sits down at the restaurant and Joe asked him, how does him looking for love fit into his lifestyle? And I thought that was a great question. Back over with Jeffrey and Demario, they cut to them and they talking about why she wanted to do the horseback riding thing. And she said because as a young girl, she always did that, but it got taken away from her when her parents divorced. So then she brought up him not having kids. So she was like, how does that fit in with you dating a woman that does have kids? He said, well, you've proven that you can handle finances and time management, and I find that attractive, and I can help you with that. I say, what now? So you just had to say a whole bunch of nothing. Did he answer the question? I felt like that was a little fluff to me. I really did. Like, how are you going to adjust to a woman with kids when you have none? Because that is a huge adjustment. They're not always readily available. Sometimes it comes with a little bit of jealousy because you have to take care of the kids. And what if one of them gets sick and then you can't go on the date? I wanted you to really think about that question. Not just start talking about, well, your time management skills are great. She's not applying for a job. Can you hang or not? Are you going to go get the Capri Suns or not? Child, are you going to get the Capri Suns or no, honey? He did say he felt the chemistry, child. I don't know what's going on. Moving forward. I ain't see it, I guess, because they're both so mellow. And, child, I don't know. It just wasn't given what's supposed to be gay for me. Back over with Joe and Lyndon, he's telling her, no, it's not a lot of nightlife for me. Like, I'm doing more office type things. So, it's not a bad thing. She was like, well, I mean, it's not bad for me because I like to have a good time. I want to do this with my man and I want to party with him. So then she tells him that Tommy told them to reveal something that they wouldn't so early on. So she was like, so yeah, for me, I compare men. I compare all the men I date to each other. Girl, why would you reveal that? It wasn't nothing else you could have said. She said she was trying to get past that and give people a chance to show their true selves, and she's going to give them the chance that they deserve. And after they got through with that, she said she feels like he has deeper levels to him, and he felt like she was being vulnerable. Can we please retire the word vulnerable? Just please. In the next scene, the ladies meet up in the ladies' lounge. When I tell y'all, Tommy loved him some Cynthia. Baby, when Cynthia walked in, he said, "You getting your little drink?" Tommy loved him some Cynthia, honey. Ooh, child. So I have to say this. The ladies this season are so pretty. All of them, just so beautiful. So Tommy asked about their dates. So Mercedes talked about the Kangoo date. That's what it was called, Kangoo. She talked about the Kangoo date and how Mark Anthony shot his shot, okay, and put it all out there. So SuAnne started talking about this nickname. Child, oh my gosh, honey, I hope we don't have to keep hearing about this nickname. Sue, we got it. But she did say she was also feeling Anthony because of his girl dad brand. And I think she likes that initiative. So I'm hoping she sticks with him because Blake ain't it. Morgan said her and Marcia went on a double date with Lyndon and Tony. So Marcia revealed on her date with Lyndon, he tried to kiss her, which made absolutely no sense because he moved like he hit a hook up and not looking for love. So I don't know why he would try to kiss this woman. I don't understand it. She said, I looked at him, I said, "I'm not trying to kiss you, sir. I'm just trying to get more information out of you." I thought that was so funny. I said, "No, I'm not trying to kiss you, sir." So then Morgan said, "Well, you know, Tony is always open. He lets me know that he's interested in me. And he said he came to find a wife." I'm still skeptical, child. I got my good eye on him. We see each other. Honey, I'm watching you. Moving forward. So Joe said blue because at the group date, she felt like he really saw who she was. Child, I forgot all about him. She also said she was feeling Lyndon as well after their date. So Cynthia said Andre because when they went on their date, she cried in front of him and they were vulnerable. So then Jeffrey talked about DeMario, and she said that she did have some reservations because he doesn't have kids, but he gives husband energy. What did he do that screamed husband? It was them rain boots, wasn't it? Oh, sorry. DeMario, I'm not about to play with you. I'm speaking directly to you, honey. Why did you wear them rain boots on that date? Child, I'm not about to play. DeMario ain't done nothing to me, child, but them rain boots, child. So then Tommy asked about who they weren't feeling. And Marcia said DeMario because he's too robotic. Like, she knows nothing about him. Yeah, he don't give you nothing but them eyes, child. He ain't saying nothing. Corvair said Lyndon because he's a player. And Tommy was like, "How is he a player?" She said because he tried to kiss me and he tried to kiss her. He's a player. Say word. Now he tried to kiss you. Girl, when did he try to kiss you? See, they be leaving out the good stuff. And I'm not about to go searching on YouTube for no unseen footage. So before anybody comment, "Well, it was on OWN's channel and they said an episode." No. OWN. Give us the good stuff. Child, I got time for y'all to be splitting stuff up. So Cynthia said, "Well, I say Tony. I mean, he do a lot of shimmy in them shoulders and he ain't talking about nothing." Listen to me. When I tell y'all I holler so loud because that is me all day. If I had to describe Tony, that would be exactly how I described him. He doing all that, honey, and ain't talking about nothing. Absolutely nothing. Her and Marcia, those my girls. Those my girls. So Joe said Fabrice, he is just not giving anything. There's no spark. Corvair said Fabrice because he thinks that she's spoiled, but she's very open and she's being herself. So Marcia was like, "But y'all remember on the group date, he likes to talk about sex too much for me." Honey, and does. So Morgan said Blake because of the whole children thing and how he tried to make her feel bad because he already had his tribe and now he getting mad because she want to have kids. Sir, you signed up for this show. Child, I know that's right. So then Jeffrey brings up Blake and says he told her that he hates to go through this process because he's found his girl. And every time she go on a date, he wants to know everything about it. That's creepy as hell. That is creepy as hell to me. Sir, y'all are not a couple. So here comes Susu in the confessional talking about, "I'm a little taken aback by this because he hasn't shown me that. I mean, he's my strongest connection." Okay, now I don't want to think that SuAnne don't know no better at her big grown age. So it's got to be more than that nickname that she sees in Blake. Some scenes have to be cut. Some conversations must have been had because you cannot tell me that she has built this entire connection on this nickname. Now, I'm just not going to believe it. I'm just not going to believe it. Child, Blake acting a fool on Jeffrey and wasting everybody else's time. Child, he can go and spray Febreze on his way out. Take him with you. Deuces. Both of them can go, child. So Tommy tells them about the curveball. You know, the same curveball he gave to men. And they have to save someone. They can only do it once, and they all have to agree. So it's time for the eliminate. So Marcia goes to see Fabrice. So Fabrice comes in. He shows up talking about, ooh, your boobs, they're so beautiful. She's like, ooh, maybe I should cover them up. He's talking about, no, I'm enjoying the view. I mean, you wore it for a reason, didn't you? She didn't wear it for you to be sitting there staring at her boobs. You are so creepy. That's why they want you to leave, Fabrice. That's why they want you to go. So Blake on the other side meets up with Susu, and he already knew something was up because they just had a lounge meeting and he's on a date with her. It just didn't make no sense. Back over with Marcia, she's telling Fabrice that the ladies didn't like him bringing up sex. It was kind of a red flag. So much so that they aren't sure that he's there for them. So he gets defensive and he's like, yeah, I mean, if people say that sex isn't important, that just shows a lack of maturity. No, sir. You show a lack of emotional maturity because sex is not all there is to a woman. And for you to get upset because they're telling you what they don't like, you should be taking the constructive criticism, not sitting here saying they are immature because they don't want to hear about your pickle being tickled. What is wrong with you? You too seasoned for that, sir. Y'all ain't got time. Moving forward. Back over with SuAnne and Blake. SuAnne tells Blake that the women think that he's combative. And Jeffrey told them that he told her that he chose her already and that he was controlling. He was like, wow. Now, my thing is this. SuAnne, why would you tell him what was said in the ladies' lounge? Didn't we have a problem with that last season? Why would you do that? It's giving, let me make sure he really likes me. She's like, I thought we had a connection. You're the only one that thinks you have a connection, Susu. So she asked if he chose her. And he was like, no, I didn't choose her. So I don't even know why she would say that. I'm actually shocked. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Because why would she just say that? Like, what would be her motivation to just lie on Blake? She just woke up and decided, Blake is all over me and I want him to go. Why would she just do that? So he says to SuAnne, you know, me being controlling was one of my fears coming into this. You know, I feared that I was going to be having conversations and I didn't want to have to deal with this. So you admit to being controlling. Oh, okay. It's giving an admission. Okay. Back over with Marcia. She tells Fabrice that he can spray on the way out, honey, because he's not ready to love. He said that it's okay because he feels like it's a cultural difference. Because in Paris, sir, it is not a cultural difference. It's simply you being too much. Your team too much. Nobody wants to talk about sex 24/7, especially when they first meet you. Goodbye and good day. Back over with SuAnne and Blake. She tells him that he's still ready to love. Child, he can't wait to get to Jeffrey and let her have it. Do y'all hear me? He is thinking in the back of his mind, when I get in that car, ooh, honey, I can see him sending a nasty text or calling on that phone until she answers. Ooh, child, I hope you don't know where she stay, honey. This is a fool. So in the confessional, he said he was upset about the comments that were made. He wasn't upset about the criticism. He was upset about those comments because they simply aren't true. But sir, you admitted what she alleged. She alleged that you were controlling, and you said you being controlling was one of your fears. I don't know. It ain't adding up for me. Every season, it's a he say, she say type of situation, and we don't know who's telling the truth. But I'm sorry, I believe Jeffrey. So he tells Susu after Jeffrey's comment, he's going to be even more combative. Okay, sir, well then you can go to the house now. Ain't nobody got time for that. They just told you that's the reason why they want you up out of here. And you saying you going to come back and be even more of the negative? Okay. So she looks at him and she's like, well, I'm happy you didn't foreclose on us all and choose Jeffrey. Oh, but I think he did. I actually think he did because he knows that they would work. She doesn't want any more children and he doesn't want any more children. Because of the kids, he probably did tell her that. But I know you want him to like you, and so there's that. And that was the end of the episode. Right now, I don't see any of these couples besides Mercedes and Mark Anthony that could work. I think it's cute that he wants to be a pilot and she's a flight attendant. They look good together, both young and fresh and beautiful. They're aesthetically pleasing. Let's see if they get to know each other a little bit better. That could potentially be something, but for everybody else, child, I ain't got nothing, child. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.